ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम्। सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Marine. The topic of our discussion this morning is destiny and free will. This is a very common debate which often goes on as to whether our life is determined by destiny or do we have free will. So what is important, free will or destiny? The answer is that there are both destiny as well as free will. What is destiny? What part is destiny? What part is free will? Perhaps we will not be able to ascertain. What is destiny? Destiny is called prarabdha. Prakarshena arabdham prarabdham. That which is very well begun is called prarabdha. So it means that we are born with prarabdha, we are born with destiny, certain destiny. This body, what is destiny? Destiny is the result of the past actions. The present is the product of the past. There is in this universe a law of cause and effect. Effect always is compatible to the cause. So we have the past karma, this law of karma or the law of cause and effect. This is where Hinduism and other religions also born in India are unique with reference to the religious traditions born, say, in Middle East. So you find that Islam or Christianity or Judaism, they do not accept this law of karma, as best as I understand. They do not accept a previous life. They do not accept the next life. They do not accept the previous birth. They do not accept the next birth. As far as they are concerned, this is the only birth you have, the only opportunity you have. Whereas Hinduism says, no, there is continuity of life. Life does not begin. Life does not end. Just as matter is not created nor destroyed. As a scientist explained to us that matter is neither created nor destroyed. Matter simply changes the form. Similarly, we say that life also is not created nor is it destroyed. It changes form. The same life comes in different embodiments. So that life is in this embodiment right now, the very same life was in different embodiment in the past birth, and yet different embodiment in the birth before that. How far past you can go? Swamiji, what about the first birth? When the life begins, at that time, there is no destiny, there is no karma. So, what gives rise to the first birth? If this body is the product of the past karma, then the past life also is the product of past karma. And that past life was the product of yet past karma. If we thus stretch farther and farther into the past, you might feel that, but Swamiji, what about when the first birth took place? At that time, there is no karma. Karma has not yet begun, because karma of the action begins when you have a body. And when you talk about the first birth, there is nothing that precedes that first birth. And so, what brought about the first birth? The answer that Vedanta gives is, there is no first birth. It is an ongoing process. There is no beginning of this creation. We cannot trace beginning of anything really. If sprout is there, it came out from a seed, the seed came out from a fruit, fruit came from a flower, flower came from a tree, tree came from a sapling, sapling came from a sprout, that came from a seed, the seed again came from a fruit, and like that it goes on. So which is first? The seed is first or the sprout is first? You cannot have seed unless you have sprout. You cannot have sprout unless you have seed. In English they talk about the chicken and egg. Which came first, chicken or the egg? You cannot have egg without the chicken. You cannot have chicken without the egg. This means that there is no beginning. The creation has no beginning. The universe has no beginning. But Swamiji, the scientists tell us that this universe came into being some 12.5 billion years ago when there was supposedly a big bang. That is true. A given cycle of creation has a beginning. But that is not the first cycle of creation. This cycle of creation is a result of what existed before. Just as this birth is a result of my previous birth, similarly also, this cycle of creation is a result of the past cycles of creation. And therefore, there is no beginning of the creation. There is no beginning of anything, really. Meaning we cannot arrive at the beginning of anything. Because you think of a situation of being the first something. When you think of first, you have to think of a situation that existed before the first. How can you call it first? So even though you want to say that the Big Bang was the first Big Bang, but something must have preceded that Big Bang. Big Bang cannot be an accident, it's an event which must have cause, and cause always precedes the effect. And what happens is, every effect is a cause, and they are preceded by an cause, which is also an effect, preceded by a cause. And this is how the cause and effect chain leads us to no beginning at all. And therefore, Vedanta's conclusion is that there is no beginning. There is no such thing as beginning. There is no beginning of the universe. There is no beginning of life. There is no beginning of birth. It is an ongoing situation. Therefore, they get frustrated by this kind of an answer. Says, you fellows are avoiding answer. By calling it beginningless, you are avoiding answer. But you yourself give me an answer. Come on, you think of the beginning. Therefore, Bada Swami used to say, he used to ask us, what is the unit of time? It's a second. His mind was working like that. The unit of time is second, not first.
Right.
So, this is an ongoing process. The karma, body. With body you perform new karma, prepare for the next body. You perform new karma, prepare for the subsequent body. This is how the life is going on. So what is destiny? Destiny is the karma that has given rise to this body. Destiny is the karma that gives rise to this life. So law of karma is the law of cause and effect. Why am I what I am? And why are you what you are? Because each one of us has a unique history. Each one of us has a unique history. And therefore, unique set of karmas I must have performed in the past. Therefore, I am a unique individual. You have your own unique history. And therefore, you perform the karma in the past because of which you are what you are. It is this that can explain the diversity of life. There is diversity. There is variety. There is even disparity, inequality, isn't it? Dissimilarity, inequality, disparity. Diversity is there. The only thing that can explain this diversity is the karma. Because each individual has his or her own unique history, and therefore they are what they are. If you say that God created this universe and God created all of us, then you would ask the question, God, why did you make me what I am, and why did you make somebody else something different, How come he is luckier than I am, he is brighter than I am? How come you made me a dull person, you made the person a bright person? Why? If God arbitrarily chose to create every individual as to what they are, then how do you explain the diversity? And what kind of rationale that God has in making a given person what that person is? What's the rationale? So, Vedanta would say that God no doubt creates, but God is more like an architect. Architect creates a house all right, but architect creates a house in keeping with the orders he gets from his clients. So house is created by architect, but the configuration of the house, how the house will look like, how many bedrooms will it have, how many, all the unique features it will have, is all determined by the client. So there are two creators of the house. The architect is a creator of the house, and the client also is a creator of the house by virtue of the needs that he has. called nimitta karana. The karma becomes the nimitta karana. The house has a particular configuration. This house has 5 bedrooms. It has a deck. It has a family room. It has a living room. It has a basement. And all these different features are there. That is because the client or customer wanted it that way. In that sense, architect does not have freedom to create what he wants. He creates only in keeping with the needs of his clients. Therefore, in creation of the house, both of them involve architect who builds the house and the client who determines what the different features of the house will be. So similarly, in creation of this body, God is no doubt the creator. He creates everything, all right. But then the peculiar features that this body has, the peculiarity of this not only body, but even my mind. My body is unique, my mind is unique, sense organs are unique, the whole personality is unique. And what contributes to that uniqueness of this personality? My karma. So God creates keeping in mind my karma. In a way, whenever we are performing any action, a deliberate action, we are ourselves, in fact, drawing the blueprint for our own future. Every karma is like a small little line. And throughout the life, different karmas you perform makes a whole blueprint for the future life. Therefore, we are quite responsible for what we are. We cannot simply assign the responsibility to God and say, He has created me like this. He has created because you asked for it. The architect created a house because I asked for it. Right now I may have a complaint about why my nose is like this and why my stomach is like this. I may complain, but I should know that whatever I have is because of my own karma. Meaning that, see, every karma, there is a desire behind every karma. What is karma or action? Action is the manifestation of desire. So it is my desires that manifest as actions, and those actions ultimately result into this life. So in a way we can say that we have desired to have this body and the life that we have. Is it not so? We have ordered it. See, this understanding also will make things quite simple, because right now we have a lot of complaints. Why am I not like somebody else? Everybody wants to become somebody else because there is general dissatisfaction with our own self, and therefore everybody wants to be somebody else, not realizing that what you are is because of your own desires, because you asked for it, and that's why you are what you are. That means this law of karma wants us to take the responsibility for ourselves. We cannot simply say that God has done everything and He is responsible. We also have an equal responsibility. God, of course, has a material. But how we will shape the material, that will depend upon my desires or my expectations. So this is destiny. Destiny has shaped this body. Destiny has shaped this personality. It has shaped my mind, my emotions. I am born with certain samskaras. I am born with a certain nature, understand? Everybody is born with certain nature. Is it not so? Everybody has unique nature. This is also the result of the past actions. So dharma and adharma, virtuous and vicious actions that we may have performed in the past have resulted into this body and this personality. Now, science also does not accept a past birth. Science says that this body is the result of the genes of the parents and ancestors. But genes cannot explain the whole life. Genes can perhaps explain why my features are like this, and maybe why my nature to some extent is like this. But if genes could explain everything, sometimes there is such a difference between the father and the son. Our Buddha Swami used to say, look at Jesus Christ and look at his father. Where is the comparison? If Jesus Christ is a product of his parents, then where are the parents? Where is the comparison at all? You can't explain his life based on simply his parents or the genes. He must have a past history which has made him what he is. So, we do not disrespect science. Vedanta respects science. And Vedanta uses the conclusions and methodology of conclusions of science. One nice thing is that we see no reason to contradict science. We can use science to understand Vedanta better. Or we can use Vedanta to explain science better, put it this way. So genes also is okay. But genes cannot explain the whole life. Karma explains the whole life. Not only why my body is what it is, not only my personality is what it is, but the various situations that I encounter in my life also are decided by the karma, is it not so? Some people are very lucky. Some people are not so lucky. That just makes a difference between success and failure sometimes, So why lucky? Because of the past karma. Why not lucky? Because of past karma. So karma explains the entire life. What variety of situations I will come across in my life is all determined by destiny. That is how astrology works. What do the astrologers do? Astrologers, in fact, are able to predict what they do based on my destiny. So that was when I was born, the circumstances under which I was born, what kind of grahas were there, what kind of German lagna was there, etc., etc. All that gives you a certain configuration of the karma or the prarabdha. And from that, they are able to predict reasonably how the life is going to be. So this is called destiny. Destiny, the result of the past karma. Destiny is something that I cannot change. It is there, I cannot change it. What is free will? Free will is the freedom given to me to change. Therefore, both these forces are there in our life. Destiny and free will. Therefore, in Sanskrit they say, a human being has free will. How is free will described? Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha kartum shakyam. Kartum shakyam, I can do what I want to do. Akartum shakyam, I need not do it. I have the freedom to do something, akartam shakyam. Freedom not to do something, anyathava akartam shakyam, and freedom to do in whichever manner I want to do. I have the freedom to speak, freedom not to speak, and freedom to speak the way I want to speak. So we have to accept that there is some freedom in our life. In fact, that's the reason why our history is unique. Because in the past births, what is karma after all? Karma is a deliberate attempt, a deliberate action. So in the past births, I must have used my free will to perform those actions which actually made up what we call the destiny in this life. So there are people who do not accept free will at all. They say everything is destiny, everything is decided by destiny. That's one way of looking at it. There are some people that everything is decided by free will. Now look, we say that this body is a result of destiny. My present life is a result of destiny. Okay, but what is destiny today was free will at some time, is it not so? Because in the past birth, suppose I perform these actions. At that time, I perform the actions with my sweet will, is it not so? So at that time it was free will. So what is free will? Itself becomes destiny, isn't it? So you can argue that there is nothing but free will. There is no destiny. But somebody may say, but Swamiji, in the past birth also, why did you choose to act in a certain manner? Why did somebody else choose to act in a certain manner? Because your destiny determines your choice also. You can say that. You follow what I am saying? That your destiny determined, then there is all nothing but destiny. So either you can say there is nothing but destiny, or you can say there is nothing but free will, but in reality, both destiny as well as free will are there in our life. In every situation, there is something that I do not control. In every situation, there is something that I do control. Therefore, we have the serenity prayer. God, give me the serenity to accept gracefully what I cannot change. So when you make a prayer like this, God, give me the serenity to accept gracefully what I cannot change, then there is a recognition that there is something that I cannot change. God, give me courage to change what I can. When that prayer is made, that means there is a recognition that there is something I can change also. And important thing is, give me wisdom to know the difference. But anyway, so there is a general recognition that there is something that I cannot change, there is something that I can change. In every situation, there is something I can change. That is called free will. Something that I cannot change, that is called destiny. Like all of you people are sitting in front of me, only this many number, not more, not less. Destiny. How should I respond to that situation? Should I feel very happy that how many people are there? Wow, so wonderful. Or, what is this? Only so few people came? How miserable. However I respond, it is up to me. And so, the way I respond to situation is determined by free will. Free will is not a big deal actually, meaning that we don't have a great amount of freedom. We have a limited amount of freedom. For that, an example is given. Imagine a calf that is tied to a pole with a rope. A calf is tied with a rope to a pole. Calf has limited freedom. It can move about within the range of that rope, that's all. Not beyond that. But that limited freedom is there. Another example that I often like to give is the situation that obtains on our roads. I have my own vehicle, I have the steering wheel, I have the accelerator, I have the brake, all of these are under my control. But I cannot control other motorists. I cannot control other vehicles. I cannot control the traffic jam. I cannot control all the traffic red lights. I can't control them. All of that has to be accepted. That is something I cannot change. You call that destiny. So, a simple definition of destiny and free will can be that whatever you confront is a destiny, and the way you respond to this is a free will. Whatever you confront is a destiny, and the way you respond is free will. Somebody says, Swamiji, the happiness, unhappiness, all of this is destiny, is it not so? My answer is no. Happiness and unhappiness is not the destiny. It's not karma. Karma or destiny simply creates these situations. Destiny creates situations, creates circumstances. In those situations or circumstances, whether to be happy or unhappy is something decided by me. Therefore, we find that in similar situations, some people feel miserable, some people are able to maintain the composure of their mind and simply able to enjoy what there is. Therefore, happiness and unhappiness are not the destiny. Happiness and unhappiness is my response to the destiny or response to what I confront. Which means what? Which means we have freedom to be happy, we have freedom to be unhappy. So Vedanta in fact addresses this limited freedom that we have. The limited freedom is enough to help us reach our destination. Just as we have a limited freedom with our vehicles on the roads. That I cannot control the rest of the traffic. I cannot control the traffic jams. I cannot control the traffic lights. I can't control those things. And if you're in Ahmedabad, you cannot control many other things. You just do not know from which direction who will come. Anybody can come from any direction and cut you off, and this is just, in Ahmedabad, the sign seen on the road is just most amazing. There, the vehicles pass like that, just a few inches. This fellow is, my car is going, this motorbike fellow just push, he just cuts me off. There's a few inches of distance. If I misjudge or he misjudged, that would have been the end of it. But they don't care. It's a great chaos. You cannot control. This chaos you cannot control. That is why I say that Ahmedabad drivers are like yogis. Because you have to be extremely alert. And I keep on screaming when I go from here for some time, hey, come on! I keep doing that. But the person who is driving me is very cool. This is how it is, Swamiji. That's how it is. Calm down, relax. Nothing happens to them. But with all this chaos on the road also, with limited freedom that we have with our vehicle, people do reach their destination. It is a miracle really that people reach their destinations. That in spite of this tremendous amount of chaos, that the accidents are many, but not as many as they could be otherwise. So the free will is similar to the free will of a motorist who has the freedom to control his accelerator and his steering wheel and his brakes and whatever. And in that, he can maneuver his vehicles to reach his destination. Similarly also, what is our destination? Is moksha is our destination. And God has given us free will, enough freedom. Not a whole lot of freedom, which also is good. Too much freedom can be abused also. Even the little freedom that we have also we are abusing. Then if a lot of freedom is given, we will destroy everything. So we have limited freedom. But we can wisely use that limited freedom and negotiate our life such as to reach the destination. And that is how free will is very, very important to us. Because even though limited freedom is there, that limited freedom is quite adequate to enable you to reach your destination. So that is our interest in discussing free will and destiny. How to use free will so that we can achieve moksha. That is our interest. This is not just an academic discussion of free will and destiny. And these questions always arise, so it is important that we should have clarity about this. But ultimately, the reason why we discuss free will is because whatever limited freedom we have is quite adequate to help us reach our destination. Coming back to whether happiness and unhappiness is the result of destiny or free will, I say it's the result of free will. Destiny simply creates the situation in front of us. But how we respond to that situation? Do I feel frustrated because I cannot control? Do I feel that I'm a victim because so sometimes there's victim psychology, that I'm a victim. So anytime things do not go the way I want them to go, I feel I'm victimized. Those kind of judgments are all up to me. Whether I'm a victim or a villain or whatever I am. Therefore, even in what we call painful situations also, it is possible for us to use our free will so that we may not be unhappy. That you can maintain the happiness or cheerfulness of your mind by wisely using your free will in any situation. That is how Lord Krishna describes Sthita Prajna. He says, Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha sukheshu vigataspruvaha vidaraga bhaya krodha sthitadhir muniruchyate. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha. In what is normally considered dukkha or painful situation, anudvignamanaha, he does not get perturbed. Sukheshu vigataspruvaha. In what is called sukha or happy situation, he does not get tempted. He maintains the balance of his mind. That we can maintain that balance. Lord Krishna uses that much freedom, to guide us. The free will. Lord Krishna says, Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Siddhya Siddhyo. Siddhi means success. Asiddhi means failure. So Lord Krishna realizes that success and failure are the realities of life. Nobody can be always successful. Nobody can be always a failure. Our Swamiji says this. Once upon a time he was invited for Viksha. And the whole family was seated on the dining table. Swamiji also was there. And the head of the family was seated beside Swamiji, pointed out that some person in the other corner, Swamiji is a failure. This fellow is a failure. Swamiji says, oh, that's interesting. Let me see how does a failure look like. So he started observing that person. So that person, with his fingers, made pieces of the paratha and put it in a dal and put it in his mouth. Hey, this is successful indeed. Took another piece of paratha with sabji, he put it, that was successful. Took a glass of water, he was started drinking, he's successful. He opened his mouth to say something, he was able to say that he is successful. So what is success and what is failure also is nothing but the projections of our mind. It is these projections of mind that deprive us of the benefit of the free will. And of course, it is not our fault that we project. We are all born ignorant. And ignorance has these two aspects. What Vedanta calls avarana and vikshepa. Avarana means veiling, vikshepa means projection. To take the standard example of the rope snake, when in place of a rope, I perceive a snake. In that, two aspects are involved. Now, one, I do not know the rope as a rope, and so too, I take the rope to be snake. So, not knowing the rope as a rope is called avaram, veiling. The nature of the rope is veiled in ignorance. But ignorance doesn't stop there. With simply unawareness of rope, perhaps there would have been no problem. But where there is rope, my mind projects a snake. So unawareness of the rope is called veiling, and perceiving or projecting a snake is called projection. Avarana and vikshepa, veiling and projection. We are born with ignorance like that. There is no choice. Had that ignorance not been there, we would not have been born. The birth is not necessary for a person who is enlightened. Why does the birth take place in the first place? Why am I born? I am born with a certain agenda. Lord Krishna explains the Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tameva edi kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever thought, last thought, at the time of departure from this body, whatever the last thought, that determines the destiny of this person. So at the time of death, whatever thought comes in my mind, that decides what my destiny will be. But unfortunately, we don't have freedom to decide what the last thought will be. Although we try to say Narayana, Narayana, we try in his ears also, we keep on telling that person, but I don't think he hears you. He's unconscious. Unconscious to this world anyway. He will be conscious to his own mind. And whatever thought occurs, that determines the destination. But basically, what is a thought? Some kind of a desire. So when I depart from this body with an unfulfilled agenda, then I take the next embodiment to complete that agenda. So we are all born to complete a certain agenda, which we could not complete, let us say, in the previous lives. And therefore, we have taken this embodiment to fulfill the agenda. What is the agenda? What agenda do we have? One single and simple agenda, that is called moksha. Vedanta says that every human being is motivated by or impelled by the desire for moksha. That's all one wants, is freedom or happiness. That's all a human being wants. You may ask a question, Swamiji, if everybody wants happiness and freedom, how come different people are doing different things? Should they not be all doing the same thing to become happy? No. Why? Because everybody has his or her own perception of what will bring happiness. Just as I have a distorted perception of myself, so also I have a distorted perception of the world. What is the distorted perception of myself? Avarana and vikshepa, veiling and projection. My true nature is veiled from me. And what is not my true nature is projected by me. What is my true nature? Satchidananda, Asti Bhadi Priyam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Limitlessness is my nature. Wholeness, completeness is my nature. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham. The Shiva, the auspicious, is my nature. But I don't know, unfortunately. Not only I do not know that, but then I project quite the contrary. Then, instead of taking myself to a complete being, I take myself to be an incomplete being. So where there is completeness, I project incompleteness. Where there is freedom, I project bondage. Where there is ananda or wholeness, I project unhappiness. And thus, I look upon myself as an unhappy being. I look upon myself as a bound person, an unhappy being, a needy person. This is a perception I have of myself. And because I have this perception of myself, therefore I also have a distorted perception of the world. Because I am a needy person. Therefore, I look upon the world as that which will fulfill my need. Since I look upon myself as an unhappy person, I automatically look upon the objects of the world as the means of happiness. I project what is not there. Just as in place of the rope, I project a snake which is not there, so also in the world there is no happiness anywhere. Swamiji, how do you say that? We are enjoying the movies, we enjoy going to beach, we enjoy our television, we enjoy an ice cream cone, we enjoy a slice of pizza. How do you say there is no happiness there? But that is called Maya. What is Maya? Maya means delusion, which creates an appearance of what is not there. This Maya creates the appearance that happiness is in pizza, it is in a cone of ice cream, it is in a movie, it is in Hawaii, it is in Kacha, so all sorts of places are there, Macha Puja, something like that, I don't know. Nothing wrong in those places, they are all wonderful places. But to think that they contain happiness, because then everybody living there must be happy. You are happy by going there once in a while. But those who live in Hawaii must be happy all the time. Is it not? That's not so. If Hawaii had inherently happiness in it, then you just go and live in Hawaii. Why should you live here? That's not so. In Hawaii also people fight. The family goes there, husband and wife and all this. And in Hawaii also same samsara is created, which is there in Toronto. So if happiness was inherent somewhere, then everybody should be happy and you should be happy consistently. That's not so. So that's called Maya, which creates an appearance of what is not there. Really, when I'm enjoying a slice of pizza, what am I enjoying? I'm enjoying myself. The slice of pizza creates a miracle and brings me to myself and enables me to enjoy myself. But every time it doesn't happen. Every time you eat a slice of pizza, can you be sure that you will enjoy it or you'll be happy? Not necessarily. Sometimes very hungry, you just gulp it. Thus we are projecting happiness and unhappiness. Understand there is no unhappiness in the world also. That also is my projection. I look upon something as favorable to me, agreeable to me, call it anukulam, agreeable, favorable to me. I look upon something else as pratikulam, unfavorable, disagreeable to me. Now this is also nothing but the perception or projection of my mind. In this world, there is no such thing as agreeable, no such thing as disagreeable, because there is something agreeable, it should be agreeable to everybody and disagreeable to everybody. That's not the case. Even for me also, what is agreeable today may become disagreeable tomorrow. This mother-in-law, with what enthusiasm they keep pushing their sons, come on, get married, get married. The mother gets, keeps pushing the son. No sooner fellow is married, that's it, As soon as the newcomer comes home, then mother has a different kind of situation. Now that daughter-in-law becomes a competitor because she is now drawing attention of his son from him. And if by chance his son happens to like his wife, then mother has a lot of problems. So what is desirable today becomes undesirable tomorrow. And mother thinks that a daughter-in-law will come, then I will be able to retire. So then we ask some people, hey, you said that you will start coming to classes after the marriage of your son. How come you are not coming to classes? Swamiji, formerly to take care of one, now to take care of two. Who will take care of whom? So there is absolutely no rule, rhyme and reason for favorable, unfavorable, agreeable, disagreeable, likable, dislikable. It's all purely subjective projections. Vedanta teaches us to become objective and use your free will to remove the subjectivity. Use the free will to become objective. So Lord Krishna teaches, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Karmanyeva te adhikara. As Swami translates this verse, says you have freedom in action. That's a unique translation, by the way, You'll never find that translation anywhere else. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You have freedom in determining your action. Ma phaleshu kadachan. Use the word adhikara is translated as my right. You have the right as far as action is concerned, no right as far as the outcome is concerned. But no, our Swamiji translates, says, your freedom with reference to determining what your action is. Ma phaleshu kadacana. You do not have freedom in determining what the outcome is. Very simple, not a big deal, Lord Krishna has not told something which is unknown to us. And since Gita is known by this verse only, everybody says, what is Gita? I know Gita. Karmanyevadhikarasya ma phaleshu kadacana. So knowing this line, not even second line they know. Knowing this first half of the verse, they think that they know Gita. Okay. But in these simple words, Lord Krishna is telling us something most fundamental about our life. Karmanyevate adhikara. You have the freedom to determine your action. So use your free will. Use your free will in determining the action. Ma phaleshu kadacana. Understand that you do not have freedom to determine what the result or outcome will be. So our life is made of these two things, effort and outcome. What else is there? Whatever actions we are performing constantly are called effort. And what we confront is called outcome. So every minute the different situation we confirm. Adi karma phala. I understand that right now you are sitting in front of me is my karma phala. I am sitting in front of you is your karma phala, you know. Sometimes, Swami, what can I do? My karma phala. Meaning, whatever we are confronting at every moment is the result of some karma, which karma we do not know, but some karma of the past. So, karma phala, or the result of an action, can be simply translated as the various situations we encounter. And what is karma? The response we give to different situations. What else our life is? Our life is confronting situations and giving a response. So we have the organs of perception and organs of action. With organs of perception, like the faculty of hearing, faculty of touch, faculty of sight, faculty of taste, faculty of smell. These are the organs of perception with which we receive the stimuli from the world. And we have 5 organs of action, the speech, hands, legs, etc., with which we respond to the world. That's our life. We receive the stimuli and we respond. What you receive, you can't control. What you respond, you can control. And you should control. Lord Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste. Here, Arjuna, take the responsibility for your actions. So use your free will to take the responsibility. So sometimes people feel that the Hindus are all fatalist. They say whatever destiny will do. Not so. Bhagavad Gita does not teach fatalism. It teaches responsibility. Karmanyavadikaraste. Your adhikara. You have the duty to perform the action. Not only freedom, in fact, adhikara, it is a duty to perform the right action. And for that also, the scriptures give us the criteria. What we require in performing action is called viveka. Viveka means discrimination. At every moment we have to discriminate. We have to discern. Kathopanishad says, Shreyascha preyascha manushyamedaha tau samvaritya vivinakti dhiraha Shreyo hi dhiro abhipreyaso vrunite preyo mando yogakshemad vrunite. So who is a viveki and who is aviveki? Viveki, a discerning person, a discriminating person. Aviveki, a non-discerning person, a non-discriminating person. A lot of challenges are given in our life, no doubt about that. So Kathopanishad says, these two things, always the human being is confronted by these two constantly. Shreyascha, preyascha, manusham etaha. The Shreyas and prayers, both of them approach a human being, come to a human being, manusham etaha. Tau samvaritya vivinakti dhiraha. Dhira means a wise person, a viveki, a discriminating person, a thinking person. Not wise in terms of sthita prajna, a thinking person. Samparitya, he is able to analyze it from all sides. Vivinakti dhiraha. The discriminating person, the thinking person, discriminates. Understand that this is Shreyas and this is Preyas. It's not easy. Both of them come, when they come before us, they look similar. it is difficult sometimes to discern what is Shreyas and what is Preyas. You must have heard the story about Damayanti, who was an extremely beautiful princess. And many people wanted her hand naturally. So there was this Swayamvara. Swayamvara means she chooses what her vara, who she will choose, is her choice. And the princes come from all over the country, all over the world. And they all present them in a huge court of the king. And this princess, accompanied by her friends, has a flower garland in her hand. And she visits one after the other this princess. The poets describe this so beautifully, As Damayanti comes, you can see the face of the princess glowing.
Yes.
As she passes, you can see dark, When she comes, there's all the hope. Hey, she's coming to me. She will offer me that Varamala. Now, Damayanti was very clear that she wanted to get married to Nala. Nala also a very famous prince. But the Devatas also wanted to marry Damayanti. So Devatas knew that Damayanti is only going to choose Nala, she will not choose anybody else. So you know what they did? They assumed the guise of Nala. Indra, Agni, Varuna, these four Devatas. They just assumed the guise of Nala. They just look like Nala. So now Damayanti has 5 Nalas in front of her. One real Nala, other 4 appearing as Nala. She was confused. What should we do? The friends, are very smart. Her friend was very smart. Hey Damayanti, the Devatas, there is one difference between human being and Devatas. That Devatas, they never wink. Human being winks.
Yes.
And Devatas never wink. So observe, who is winking, who is not winking. Right away, she was able to choose. So, what I am saying, Shreyas and Preyas, they look similar. Shreyas and Preyas, both of them look very similar. And therefore, it requires real discrimination to determine what is Shreyas and what is Preyas. To samparitya vivinakti dhiraha, a discriminating person, a wise person, samparitya, he analyzes it from all sides. Shreyo hi dhiro abhipreyaso vronite. The dhiraha, the wise person, the thinking person, the discriminating person chooses Shreyaha. Preyo mando yogakshema dhrunite. But manda, a dull-headed person, a non-discriminating person, yogakshema, because of his concern about yoga and kshema, he chooses prayas. What is yoga? Yoga is acquiring what one does not have. And what is kshema? Protecting what one has. Yoga, in this case, yoga means acquiring what I don't have, and kshema means protecting what I have. That's all a human being is concerned about, all the time. If you observe the thinking process in our mind, either yoga or kshema, one of these two things will be going on in your mind. Not in your mind, you are all different people, but generally speaking, you think of God all the time, that you are different people. But I'm talking about ordinary people. Either yoga what I don't have, and the yojana, all the planning as to how to acquire what I don't have. And unfortunately, this game does not end simply by acquiring what you have. What you acquire, you are able to protect also. In New York City, I was visiting somebody on the 4th floor of an apartment building in Manhattan. And my hostess, who I was visiting, every 5 minutes would come out, stand up and look out of the window. And what are you doing? Why do you go to the window every 5 minutes? Swamiji, my car is parked there. I have to make sure that it is there. You never know. In New York City, they will not throwing away. They will steal away everything. They can remove your tires and they can remove your batteries, they can remove your all kinds of things. Or they can take your car. Why should then later on they can dismantle it? So acquiring car, of course, is a big hassle. But having acquired it, to protect it is even a bigger hassle. So this man, who was regularly attending our classes, he built a new house. From then, he stopped attending classes. Hey, what happened? Swami, now the new house is there. I have to take care of the house. So, in Gujarati they say, એને ઘર બાંધ્યું અને બંધાઈ ગયો. Meaning that he created the house, he built the house, and he is bound by the house. Yoga and Kshema. Preyo Mando Yoga Kshema Dhrunide. This Manda, the person who is not a discriminating person, chooses Preya because of his concern of Yoga and Kshema. The thinking person is not concerned about Yoga and Kshema. He is concerned about Moksha. So Shreyas and Preyas. Where we have to use the word free will. We'll give you a break for some time and continue with our class.